Welcome back to the new session of Norton's theorem. I am going to take here the problem where both the current source as well as the voltage source is available in the circuit. So the question here is like this: find the current in 5 ohm resistor for the circuit shown below using Norton's theorem. This is a 5 ohm resistor. So I need to find out the current through this 5 ohm resistance, but I need to convert this whole circuit first into a Norton's equivalent. This is what it says, Norton's theorem. So here I am having two sources, both are independent, a 10 volt source as well as 1 ampere current source, and these are the three resistances which are connected in the circuit other than the load resistance. To see the solution, here first I am trying to find out the Rn, that is the Norton's resistance, and before that we should understand how the circuit is given. So the very first thing is that mark the point A and B wherever the load resistance is given, because we need to calculate everything with respect to these load resistance or the load terminals. So the very first thing is that I have marked 2 points A and B across the load resistance, which is 5 ohm resistance as it is given in the question. The very first thing, with respect to this everything will be calculated. So this is very important. RL, wherever it has been given as RL, or if RL is not given in the question, it will be asked to calculate the current through some resistance. So where that resistance is available, across that resistance just mark it the point as A and B. So these are point A and B. This is shown here. So the very first thing is to calculate Rn, and we know that to calculate Rn we should remove the load resistance. This is the load resistance, we have removed it, open circuit it. The load resistance is removed, and we should remove also the sources, the independent sources only. So here we have two independent sources, one is the voltage source, the other one is the current source. If I remove the voltage source, it should be short circuited. See here, this is short circuited here, replaced by a short circuit. And if I want to remove a current source, it should be open circuited. See here, open circuit where the current source was available. So now the whole circuit is converted into a purely resistive circuit. A purely resistive circuit. If you look at this circuit from this side, then these two resistances look parallel to each other, and the equivalent of this will be in series with the 10 ohm resistance. To understand how this is parallel and this is in series, please look into my earlier videos of basic part in network theory and analysis. So again I'll go through this. If I look back from this, these two resistances are in parallel to each other, and this is in series with the equivalent of these two. So I can write it as 10 ohm is in series with the parallel combination of 3 and 6. So 10 ohm is in series with the parallel combination of 3 and 6, and the parallel combination of 3 and 6 can be calculated as 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. So it is 10 plus 3 into 6 divided by 3 plus 6. So this is 18 divided by 9, which is 2. So 10 plus 2 is 12. So this is Rn. Now to find the Norton's current ISC, we should short circuit these load terminals A and B. So as seen in the previous examples also, the points or the load terminals are short circuited. The whole circuit is same as it is, just short circuit the point A and B. Once we short circuit it, I have tried to convert this whole circuit into a very simple circuit which you can understand. If you see, these two terminals are one and the same because we are connecting it with a single wire, or it is a short circuit. So I am combining these two terminals to a single point in the next circuit diagram. See here, these 2 points are combined. And to solve this whole network, I will apply the nodal analysis. Nodal analysis deals with KCL, or it depends on Kirchhoff's current law. So the very basic rule is, from this node all the currents are to be considered as outgoing current. This is a tool, this is an analysis by which we can solve it. There are nodal analysis and then mesh analysis, which you can understand whenever I have dealt with the basics of network theory and analysis. Go through those videos or earlier videos of nodal analysis as well as the mesh analysis. You will understand it better. Here I'll take it granted that you have seen those videos. So all the currents are supposed to be outgoing currents, but don't consider the source. Wherever the current source is there, whatever the direction it shows, please take it as it is. Please take it as it is. So here the current is shown as it is entering this node V1. So I have taken it as incoming current to the node V1. Rest of all the currents are considered as outgoing currents from the node V1, except where the source is available, current source is available. So KCL says that algebraic sum of all the currents must be equal to 0. So here the currents are I1, I2, I3 and I4. So algebraic sum of all the currents must be equal to 0. But this is outgoing current, this is outgoing current, I4 is outgoing current, but I3 is incoming current. So incoming current I have marked it as minus because I am taking outgoing current as plus. The very simple rule. Outgoing current is taken as plus, so incoming current has to be taken as minus. So this algebraic sum is replaced by a minus sign, so I have shown it here as minus. So if I take this I3 on the RHS, so this becomes I1 plus I2 plus I4 is equal to I3. How to write this I1? Then it is the difference between the voltages where the I1 is flowing divided by the resistance. So if you try to see, V1 is a voltage, 10 volt is the voltage, so V1 minus 10 divided by 3, difference between the voltage divided by resistance. So V1 minus 10 by 3 is I1. What is I2? There is no voltage available here, so this is to be considered as ground. Ground means zero potential. So V1 minus 0 divided by 6, or simply V1 by 6. See here, I2 is V1 by 6. Then the next one is I4. Again I4 is same. There is no voltage source in this path. So V1 minus nothing. So it is V1 itself divided by resistance in this path is 10. So V1 by 10 is equal to incoming current is I3, and we know that I3 is 1 ampere. So is equal to 1 ampere. So here I have taken V1 by 3, or I have separated it and taken V1 as common. So if I take V1 from here, I am left with 1 by 3. See here, 1 by 3. Here if I take V1 as common, 1 by 6. If I take here V1 as common, then it is 1 by 10. So from this and from this, these three values, if I take V1 as common, then I am left with 1 by 3, 1 by 6 and 1 by 10. It is shown here. This value is left, minus 10 by 3. It is shown here separately, which is equal to 1. If I solve this bracket part, it will be equal to V1 into 0.597. And if I take this on the RHS, it becomes plus. So 1 plus 10 by 3, which is equal to 4.33. So V1 will be equal to 4.33 divided by 0.597, which is equal to 7.25. So here V1 is calculated as 7.25, and V1 is a node voltage, which is here. V1 is calculated as 7.25, but actually we are interested in ISC, or nothing but I4. And the formula for I4 here is V1 by 10, which you can see it here. We have written I4 as V1 by 10. So we need to find ISC, which is nothing but I4. So I4 is V1 by 10, and V1 is calculated as 7.25. So I4 will be equal to V1 by 10, which is equal to 7.25 by 10. And I4 can also be written as ISC because both are one and the same. So ISC will be equal to 7.25 divided by 10 is 0.725, or it can also be known as IM, that is a Norton current. So either Norton current or ISC, it is now equal to 0.725. So again the same thing, we need to draw the Norton's equivalent, and we know that for Norton's equivalent IN is always in parallel with RN. And see here also we have calculated the current which is moving from A to B, that is top to bottom. So in Norton's equivalent, if I am taking this point as A and this point as B, then the current should move from top to B, top to bottom, or A to B, where I need to connect my load resistance. If the current has to move from top to bottom, then the current from here, it should go from bottom to top. Then and then only the current can move like this, top to bottom. See here, from this it should circulate like this. So it should, the Norton current for our case should move from bottom to top. Whenever I am showing it, the arrow mark should be from bottom to top. So IN is equal to ISC, which we have calculated it as 0.725, will be shown from bottom to top. And then in parallel with this, we have connected the Norton's resistance RN, and then there is a load resistance has to be put back again between the points A and B. So here I have put back the load resistance again as it was in the original question. So now if I need to calculate IL, again it is a very simple way to calculate IL, because again this is like two resistances are in parallel with each other and there is a current which is entering to this parallel combination. So if I consider this as node, then the current I is entering and it is divided into I1 and I2. So the branch current method can be applied, and I am interested in I2 because I need to calculate IL. IL itself is I2. So how to calculate I2? I2 is always equal to the main current which is entering into this node, and the main current entering to this node is I. So I multiplied by the other resistance in which I am not interested. I am interested to calculate the current from this resistance, so I am not interested in this. So the current entering to the node multiplied by the resistance in which I am not interested, so 12 ohm, divided by the total resistance or the summation of these two resistances, it will be 5 plus 12, 5 plus 12. Therefore IL will be equal to I is already calculated, 0.725. I is ISC, so 0.725. 0.725 multiplied by 12 divided by 17. So IL will be equal to I2, which is equal to this combination or this solution is 0.51 amperes. So we have calculated the load current from resistance RL using the Norton's equivalent. Or I can use this formula also always, that load current will be always equal to ISC multiplied by RN divided by RN plus RL. So this is ISC multiplied by RN divided by RN plus RL. So this formula can also be used every time. So thank you very much for these questions. In the next class we will be dealing with some more complicated questions. So please go through all those videos to understand Norton's theorems in a better way. Thank you very much.